everyone, Chivos here, bringing you another Hyundai A-League fixture preview for the fixtures of Week 13. Now, it's another round of the A-League, and let's see what it brings in the new year. So the first game of the weekend, the Thursday night, see Central Coast Mariners take on Wellington Phoenix in Gosford. Now, Central Coast obviously struggling, only won one game of the season so far, while Wellington not playing their best lately and are slowly out of form. Now, Central Coast welcome Uzkok, Pearce and Mitch Austin to the first team squad, while Paul Izzo, their #1 goalkeeper, is suspended and Matthew Sim is not selected for the match. Now, Central Coast obviously going to struggle with that Izzo, I think, and Matthew Sim as well. But having Mitch Austin back into the squad is going to be a big bonus for them, while Wellington Phoenix welcome Gully and Tom Doyle to the first team squad, while Jeffrey Sarpong and Albert Riera are both out. Sarpong has a thigh strain, and Riera obviously picked up 2 yellow cards last weekend. Now, I don't know how to predict this fixture. Obviously, Central Coast have been struggling, and Wellington Phoenix aren't playing their best either. Wellington are missing, 2 of their decent players, and Central Coast also missing 2 of their decent players. So, hard to call, but I do think it's going to be a draw. I do think it's going to be quite a boring draw. I think it's going to be a 0-0 result. Now, the second game of the weekend, Friday the 1st of January, sees Western Sydney Wanderers take on Adelaide United. Now, Western Sydney Wanderers smashing it at the moment, while Adelaide United also picking up some form. So, both teams trying to establish themselves. Obviously, Western Sydney just want to keep pushing and maintain more of a gap to the to second place, while Adelaide United are pushing for the top 6. Now, Western Sydney Wanderers welcome Andreu and Ashpropotomitis. I'll get there one day, don't you worry about it. They welcome them to the first team squad, while they have no apparent outs, which is good news for them. I do have a hair in my eye, that is really hurting. And the Adelaide United squad welcomes La Rocca and Ali Babalj and also John Hall to the first team squad, while Daniel Margish is out. So their backup, well, technically not their backup goalkeeper, their third string goalkeeper is out. John Hall does return back to the squad, and I don't think he's going to get much game time. So the thing you have to look at, though, Western Sydney Wanderers obviously flying at the moment. I know Adelaide United have picked up some form, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop what is Western Sydney Wanderers. They're just smashing it at the moment. So, unfortunately for Adelaide United, I cannot see this result ending in a Western Sydney Wanderers win. I do think it's going to end up 2-1. Now, the Saturday game, the kickoff at 4:15 PM sees Brisbane Roar take on Perth Glory. Now, Perth Glory slowly finding some form. It's good for them. Brisbane Roar been a bit patchy, still sitting in the top 2, and they want Western Sydney Wanderers to drop a point or 2 so they can play a bit of catch up. But is it going to happen? I don't know. Henrique obviously scored that good goal last weekend when he scored from almost halfway. Let's see if he can do it again this week. I highly doubt it. Now, Corey Brown and Devante Clut are welcomed back to the Brisbane first team, while there are no apparent outs, although Lustica is still injured with his abdominal strain, so there won't be any Lustica. On the Perth Glory side, Jacob Collard and Joe Knowles are welcome to the first team squad, while Marinkovic has picked up a hamstring injury and will be unavailable for the fixture. So, Perth Glory managed to pick up a draw last weekend against Melbourne Victory. Not the best result, but not the worst. Brisbane Roar obviously picking up a 3-1 win against Melbourne City, who are fine in form. I think Brisbane Roar are going to carry on. They know that the chase is there against Western Sydney Wanderers, so that is what they're going to continue to do. I do think Perth Glory are going to score. They have found the back of the net a few times as of late, but I do think Brisbane Roar are going to win it, and I think it's once again going to be a 2-1 win for Brisbane Roar. Now, the second Saturday game is at Amy Park, and it sees Melbourne City FC take on Sydney FC. Now, quite controversial here. Both teams don't know what they're doing this season. And Obviously, Melbourne City smashing it in form and got smashed last weekend by Brisbane Roar. So, not quite sure about this fixture, to be honest. It's a bit iffy. Now, Melbourne City welcome Trefiro, Melling, and Espandola all to the first team squad, while Rattray is suspended after picking up 5 yellow cards so far this season. And on the other hand, Sydney FC welcome Shane Smelts back from injury. That's a big boost for them. They welcome Christopher Normuth, Polosco, and Calva as well. So 4 returns for Sydney FC, while they do see Alex Brosk out with a hamstring injury, and Matt Simon has been suspended after his elbow on McGing, I think it was, in last weekend's fixture. Now, as I said, it's going to be tough to call. I don't know what way to put this. Melbourne City found some really good scoring form, but then only managed to bag 1 and lost 3-1 last weekend, even with Thomas Sorensen in goal. Whereas Sydney FC not playing the best, but they did win 4-1, I think it was, last weekend. So it's tough to call. Sydney FC found some goals, but Melbourne City score for fun. So I do think it's going to be a scoring draw. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. The squads for the Newcastle Jets versus Melbourne Victory match are not yet released. It says here that they will be sent out on Saturday the 2nd, while the game will be played on Sunday the 3rd. But I can review this anyway, preview it, sorry, because we do know my team is Melbourne Victory. So Melbourne Victory didn't have the best of weeks last weekend. We drew 1-1 with Perth Glory, although Thomas Deng did play a magnificent role in the central of defence last weekend. While on the other hand, you did see Matthew Delpierre have an absolute blinder and give away a late penalty. Now, Newcastle Jets obviously been struggling for form, and they're not playing the best this season. Now, they're already doing better than last season, don't get me wrong, but they still need to build on what they've got, and the transfer window does open in the next few days, so you will try and get some transfer talk here. But the other thing is, Newcastle are going to strengthen, and where's it going to be? Will they have time to do it? I don't think so. Melbourne Victory obviously going to be strong, and Newcastle Jets, I think they're going to struggle. But Melbourne Victory, 5 games without a win. This is where we start to struggle. Can we beat an out-of-form Newcastle Jets? We should do. Is it going to be a tough fixture? I know it is. How are we going to do it? Barisha's going to score 1. I do think Calfella might redeem himself from last weekend. I think Barbarousis will get 1 as well. But I do think Vukovic may let 1 in. So I'm going to predict this result. A Melbourne Victory win, 3-1. Now, they are my previews for the fixtures of this weekend. Make sure you leave a comment down below telling me your predictions. So, yeah, tell me if I'm right. You can tell me if I'm wrong. At the moment, bit iffy. I'm a 50-50 at the moment, so don't always believe what I say. But my name has been Chivos. Don't forget to leave a like if you have enjoyed the video. Subscribe to see more Hyundai A-League content. Now I'll catch you guys on another video.